Welcome to Now, you all. I hope that you are doing so well wherever you are in this now moment. I hope that life is treating you kindly. It has been raining here and I have been enjoying it so much. I feel like my rain barrel is filling back up, which I am so happy about because it's the water that I use for my garden. And like I'll use the water from the tap if I have to, but I don't want to. One, I don't want to pay for it. And two, the water that comes out of the tap has like fluoride and chlorine in it. And I don't want to put that on anything that I'm going to eat. So I'm so grateful for the rain. I see it as so nourishing and purifying. And it creates this feeling for me where it's like you can just chill out. Like you don't have to run around. You don't have to go outside and play or soak up the sun. Like you can just stay home and stay inside and do work, which I do stay home and do work quite a bit. But if it's sunny and nice out, it's really hard for me. So I hope that wherever you are, you can see the beauty and the gifts in whatever it is you're experiencing. Because sometimes we experience stuff that when you look at it, it looks like it sucks. But, sometimes things look like they suck, but they really don't. So, we get to dive into some spirituality, y'all. It's my favorite. So, what I want to do is start off by pulling a card. This deck is a Rumi deck, who's a poet, a writer, a philosopher, a lover. Boop. That was me shuffling my deck. So, the card that I want to pull, the intention behind it, is for all of us. May it be of service. May it shine a light onto an area that maybe we can find some more peace with, or something. I'm not going to look at it yet, but I got the book. So, something that I want to talk about is mental health. I want to talk about mental health and spirituality because you know what I'm noticing? And this is it's super upsetting to me. I am noticing that mental health professionals have absolutely, completely detached themselves from spirituality. I feel that most mental health providers are so focused on the brain and the way we think and the way we behave that they just want to fix that, right? Let's just change that thought. Let's just change that action. You have anorexic tendencies, well then let's change the thoughts about control and let's learn how to eat. And maybe the mental health professionals are like, oh, you have bipolar. You feel really high and you feel really low. And you know what? Let's just medicate that. And there's zero connection to the bigger picture because, y'all, we are so much more than our mind. And yet, every single thing that we think creates our reality. To me, reality is life. And life is the thing that is the interconnection between every single thing. That is spirituality. Spirituality is the connection with the whole, with something bigger. And mental health, and I know it's not all, and I will say it is the majority of mental health professionals have been detached so much from spirituality. They have gone so far into science that they have literally turned a blind eye on a full body, mind, spirit well-being. And what a disservice that is. I have known so many people in my life who have seen mental health professionals, and yeah, some of them have been great, yay woo. And some of them, most of them, have either continued them in talk therapy, gotten thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and the person leaves and just like, I mean, I don't really feel better. Like, to the point where, like, so I know some mental health professionals now who are upping their game. They're knowing, they have a deeper understanding of spirituality, of connection, of energy, of time. Time isn't real, it's only now. There are past life experiences, there are future life experiences that have pure potentiality for us to live into. And so I know some mental health professionals who work as hypnotherapists, who work with past life regression so that we can go into a past life, and that past life could be when we were 5, or into an experience of a past life that we lived hundreds of years ago, right? If that's in your belief system, you understand. If not, don't worry about it. When you were a kid. And they're noticing that there's so much more depth and potency to their work with their patients and their clients. And I get a lot of clients who are seeking mental health support, and they come to me and I'm like, yes. And it's more than just your mental health. Like, your mental health is more than just your thoughts. Your mental health is the way you treat yourself, the way you relate to yourself, when that turns into how you relate to others, and how I relate to others is how I'm going to view myself. And it turns into this really big cycle. And it's really all about relationships, because everything always comes from the heart. Every single thought that we think that it's our mind being like the controlling force, because that's just what we've been taught. But y'all, in our divine nature, like in our most natural state of being, our heart is the controller. Our mind is what tells us to turn left and to turn right and put this nail here and put that screw there, and like, this is the best direction for these things, and creates, like, the structure for the heart to be lived and expressed and felt through and with. So mental health professionals who don't pay any mind to the heart, man, y'all need to figure something out, because if you're watching this, you suck. And I say that with so much love. But it's true, y'all. And I think oftentimes people with mental health issues are either dismissed, or they're labeled and or drugged. And here's the thing, y'all. We all have mental health. We all have a mind, and we all have a health, a way of making it feel better, work better. It's like if we all have a car and we want to all know what kind of gas to put in it, what kind of oil to put in it, how often do I need to get the oil changed and the tires rotated? Like, that's car health, right? Mental health is an ongoing thing so that we can keep our mind agile, keep the neural pathways functioning, to keep our mental body healthy. It's like our emotional body, which I'm not even going to talk about now. I want to keep it on mental health. But it's like, we're taught to not even feel emotions, and how to healthfully and healthfully process them and feel them and move through them. Like, we're literally taught to not even look at that stuff. And if we start to feel things too much or for too long based on some timeline that some book told us, then we're given this label and drugged. Big Pharma is making a killing off of us humans trying to get support in how to human. And the spiritual component has been so far removed into some religiosity of dogma and judgment and righteousness that nobody wants to even associate with religion anymore. Not no one. That's not literal. But a lot of people are like poo-pooing on religion, because religion as the entity has literally been what carried the colonizers here to the States and around the world. The religion carried the reason for war, right? The religion as the entity that it has been has not had the heart in mind. However, it would spout from the mind the way that your heart should be, which that's not the heart, because that's just righteousness and judgment. So spirituality has been even ostracized by religion, and we can see that in, if you look at pagans, Wiccans, Hindus, really, any indigenous group, really ever. Ancient humans that didn't have religion, but they were like stewards to like the land, and they worked in like community and tribes, and they got along. They just were living. They were just living. That's all. So then the religion comes and says, no, you're wrong. You're crazy. Something's wrong with you because you don't think the way we think. So we're going to kill you, take your land, or we're going to make you reform and be like us. So spirituality is kind of taken a back seat because it has been punished by the quote religion. And again, it's not all religions, and I'm not saying if you're religious you're bad. You know what I mean, right? It's like duh. So anyway, so religion is like separate church from state. Okay, but yet everything that's in that system literally has become the government and politics. And instead of being like Catholic and Baptist, you got the red team and the blue team or whatever. And they both, the political teams, I'm not saying anything about the religions. I'm not really that familiar. But so here we are living in this reality where mental health is completely overlooked. Children are not taught to even have an awareness that they are the thinker of their thoughts, and that they can change their thoughts, and that thoughts are malleable, and that they can use their thoughts to legitimately create their reality. Children aren't taught this, so then they grow up to be the adults who are like, what is this? I can't get my shit together. Why am I not happy? You know? And then we're labeled, they're like, oh, well, you have autism, or you're on the spectrum, or you're dementia. It's like, no, I'm literally just living in different dimensions because we're multidimensional beings living in a quantum field of energy. But the way the mental health system is, I'm so over it. Like, I just had someone share something with me today, so that's why I'm like super activated about it. That like her child is going through some transitions in her life, and all of the mental health support that they're getting for this kiddo just sucks. It just sucks. And I'm like I am willing to work with your child, like please, or anyone that can like bring the awareness of the mind and the heart together so that these two parts of us can work in unison. And that literally is what spirituality is. It's mindfulness of the heart. It's following the heart. It's having the heart love lead the way, and letting the mind make the decisions that are loving and kind and compassionate. So that's the embodiment of the love. I can just be an empty body, what feels like a soulless vessel, and I'm going to be miserable my whole life. I could also be this like, untethered heart, and I'm just loving all over the place. And, I may lack direction and ability to actually make something come to fruition, create a plan, a budget. I might like literally just not be able to like do those human things. So that's where they come together. It's the mental body and the emotional body that unify and make us the holy ones. And like spiritual wellness is so important. It's so important. And I think that people have been so scarred or told that they're already broken or messed up that they don't even know where to even start in spirituality, because you go to half the places or whatever, talk to half the people, and it just feels judgmental. I've seen that like there are some counselors that like are like faith-based counselors, and what I've seen with them, and not all of them, but the ones that I have seen, they're the ones that try to what is it called? I never remember because I think it's just completely just weird. But like if you're like gay, they like try to like train you to be not gay, and they do it under like this religion umbrella through the means of like psychological tools. So like mental health tools to literally create you in a way that they feel is right. That's disgusting. That is manipulative. That is complete manipulation. And that's exactly what's happening in the world. Like, we live in a society that we're breaking out of and completely disturbing and disrupting and dismantling and dissolving, where we have been completely manipulated to think a certain way and to feel a certain way, to think that we're not enough, to judge others, and to feel afraid, and to feel stagnant, and to feel shame, and to feel guilt. That's literally what we've been manipulated to think so much that we feel it. And then we end up living in a reality that is reflective of that. It shows us all that. We live in a reality where people are judging us. Well, no shit, I'm judging everybody else. I live in a reality where I'm afraid of everybody. Well, I'm also looking at the news and all they're showing is the stuff to be afraid of. I'm too afraid to leave my house to actually see that the world is good and humans and humanity are loving and kind. And the earth is a safe place to land. Like, that we have been manipulated, our minds have been manipulated so much that we have dissociated from our bodies and created this sense of separation from Great Spirit, from the One. We're never separate. But if I believe that I'm separate and that this God source is outside of me, then I'm going to live a life of never feeling whole. I'm never going to know my true divinity, my true nature, my true self, because of these manipulated, inverted programs that we've been taught. And then we finally say, fuck this, like, man, I need some help. So we go to a mental health professional and they just tell us, first of all, do they take your insurance? Do you have insurance? And it turns into this like rigmarole, and you sit there and you sit on the couch and you tell the things, and they listen and they write notes and they say, okay, well, I'll see you next week. Or they tell you, well, you have this addiction. Well, let's do some cognitive behavioral therapy. Let's just change those patterns of being. But they don't give you new tools that are healthy, that feel good, that are up to you, right? They're like, don't drink the whiskey. Here, drink a Diet Coke instead. Literally, now you're just messing up different neural pathways in the brain with that chemical in a can. And you don't even want to, but you're like, I guess I'll do it because the professional told me to. And you get tired of drinking it, so you're like, F this noise, and you drink the whiskey again. Because they don't even know how to be creative and how to listen to their body and how to tap into what their thoughts are, if they're their own thoughts, if they're thoughts that someone else gave them, that they were given to as a child, if it's a thought that their parents handed down to them from their parents and their parents and their parents. They don't even know that themselves because they don't teach that shit in a book. All the stuff that mental health professionals like learn, and I can speak to that just because I got my degree in psychology. Like, all the stuff that I taught, I learned, like, the path I chose was, like, positive psychology, how, like, it actually affects the body and the chemicals and biofeedback and meditation and what it actually does scientifically to the body. Meditation is mindfulness. That's the awareness of all that is that I am. It's spirituality. Most healthcare professionals don't look at that stuff at all. And most of them are just trying to regurgitate the information out of the book to pass the test in the first place. So they can get the piece of paper that says they know the thing so they can start seeing patients make all the money. The system is messed up. So my invitation is to just dive into spirituality in like complete like curiosity. Like, what is spirituality? I don't know. Is it rocks and minerals and like, is it like crystals and stones? Is it lighting sage and Palo Santo? Is it using prayer beads? Is it using a rosary? Is it a tarot deck? Is it an oracle deck? Is it a journal? Is it a paintbrush? Is it a hike in the woods? Is it planting a garden? What is it? What makes you feel? One, what does it just make you feel? Does it make you feel? Does it make you feel like the wordless? Does it make you feel wordless? Does it make you just feel so that your mind isn't even there? Because that is a spiritual path maybe for you. Is it yoga? Is it yoga asana? Is it breath work? Is it moon gazing? Spirituality, there are a billion different tools. And I would run from anyone that says this is the only way to do it. And I would also run if anyone tells you that you're wrong and that you're broken and that there's something wrong with you. They don't see the truth. And to me, if someone can't see the truth, they're going to hold me in that broken, quantum entangled web. And it literally will slow my healing process because they see me as messed up. Like, it would be like if the example is if somebody breaks their arm and you have two different doctors. One doctor's like, that's a bad break, man. You are not going to be healed from that one ever. I mean, I'll put a cast on you. In fact, we'll just keep putting new casts on, but basically you're not going to be able to use your arm. But like, I'm still going to take your money, but you are going to stay broken. And then you have this other doctor that's like, wow, yo, that's a bad break. Yo, that sucks. I see you as already healing. I see you as such a fast healer. You're going to heal this so fast, and we're going to do whatever it takes to support your like amazing ability to heal, because you're a human and you can do that, man. Like, you actually can heal this. You're already starting to heal right now. Like, how cool is that? Let's get this cast on you and let's see what happens. Very different doctors. The first doctor, that is what is happening in our healthcare profession system. The second example, that to me is a truth seeking, a truth seeing, a truth doctor, a true healer. A doctor of medicine, medicine being something that supports our healing and well-being, our health, our vitality, as opposed to a medical doctor, a doctor of drugs, the doctor of Band-Aids, of pharmaceuticals, that wants to keep you sick because the sicker you are, the more money they make. But spirituality, connecting with something bigger, nature's nature is to heal itself and to regenerate and rejuvenate itself. Birth, life, death, rebirth. That's the cycle of life. So to be connected to the oneness, then we remember that, oh, this is a phase. I'm moving through this. Even when we go into mental health, if we can have that awareness that this is a phase, I'm moving through these thoughts. Wow, I didn't realize those thoughts were still in there. Wow, I didn't realize that I still thought I wasn't good enough for love. Whoa, wow, those thoughts are amazing right now that they just came in. So then we can be with our thoughts and then we can talk over them. Right? We're connected with the voice of reason, with God, with our higher self, with the universe, with love. And say, wow, that thought of you're not good enough, Jane? Wow. You haven't had that one in a while. You forgot how loved you are, and you forgot that you're a reflection of me. You forgot that you're a reflection of this earth, that you're the earth's child. You are walking on this earth plane. You're made of light and sound, dear sister. That to me is the medical field, the wellness field, especially the mental health field, that we need to create. And that is what I am here personally doing the best I can. Because everyone I work with, I'm like, we got to get your thoughts back in alignment with the heart. Because I can tell people what to think all day, but then they're just replacing their thoughts with someone else's. And then what am I? I'm just another manipulator. Ugh. I'm not gonna. It's just gross. So anyway, that's my rant on spirituality. And I want to read this card. It says, the all-encompassing hand. Look at that beauty. Boop, boop. Isn't that pretty? So I'll read what it says. Sorry, that might have been loud. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. It's a poem, first of all, that I shall read by Rumi. And the cards are created by a woman named Alana Fairchild. And the artwork was not done by her. It's by Rasuli. I don't know who that is. But anyway, I highly recommend. So, it says, the all-encompassing hand. You are the essence of my existence. Who am I? A mirror in your hand. Whatever you do, I will do. I am your irresistible reflection. With every breath, I feel my heart is beating with yours. In your joy, I am exuberant. In your sadness, I am in sorrow. If you are bitter, I become bitter. If you are grace, I become grace. My joy is when I am bewildered in your beauty and taste the sweetness of love on your lips. If I pick a rose without you, it becomes a thorn in my hand. If I am the thorn, I become the rose in your hand. That's a big statement right there. If I pick a rose without you, it becomes a thorn in my hand. If I am the thorn, I become the rose in your hand. That if I am the thorn, I become the rose in your hand. If this is like the voice of God or source, to me, that just says like, that like, if I am the pain in your life, like if I am the mental issue, if I'm this pain in the ass, if I'm something that brings pain, that I can actually become the rose, I can become the beauty, I can become the gift. And that's what mental health is. It's recognizing all of the stuff in our mental system and learning from it and using it to our benefit, and like you remembering that, like, back to the oneness, like I was talking about how important spirituality is. Like, just to know, like, talk about like never feeling left alone, right? Like, with every breath I feel my heart is beating with yours. In your joy I'm exuberant. In your sadness I'm in sorrow. If you're bitter, I become bitter. If you're grace, I become grace. So I hope you enjoyed that. I could keep going about that, but I don't want to. But my invitation is to listen to it. Actually, here, you can take a screenshot. Is it backward? Oh, man. Well, if it's backward, I'm sorry. But if not, you can take a screenshot. It may have been backward. So, yeah, my invitation is to sit with your mental health care provider, your mental health support team, and you. Sit with you and your mental health. And my invitation is to see where spirituality can come in and hold your hand during your mental experience. Because y'all, we're all collectively going through a mind fuck. Like, the world is so weird right now. Like, you can't even make it up. I'm really grateful that like I can see it from the perspective that I see it in. And a lot of people are having a big time challenge, and they're having their really big challenge and like wrapping their mind about what is happening on this earth plane with our brothers and sisters. Like, I don't get it. I'm supposed to be angry. I'm supposed to be picking a side. I can't pick a side. Like, my invitation is to pause on all the mental stuff and like go into the heart, go into spirituality. If there's any support that I can offer, you can look at my website, janetheguide.com, and you can have a one-on-one session with me. You can come to some group gatherings that support mental and emotional health through the connection with something bigger, the connection with love. Like, please join. I have a meetup group that you can be a part of this community. It's the Eternal Now Conscious Community on Meetup. Like, go to meetup.com and type in the Eternal Now Conscious Community. Join it. Be a member. Like, be a member of this community that is ready to take love and let it lead us through mentally and emotionally challenging times. Like, so many resources out there that are in so much love. My invitation is to tune into that resonance and play in that realm. So that's what I wanted to share. The rant, the spiritual rant. So take care of yourselves, y'all. Take care of each other. And just know and remember how loved you are. You're so loved. You're so beautiful. You're such a unique piece of work, you unique human. What? Ah! Anyway, I will see you all so soon, okay? Take care. Bye.